Hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
My name is Sev,
And I'm Ryan.
and welcome to our little speed paint video.
Yeah. Since we finished chapter 1 of Deltarune, we figured why not draw a little bit of fan art of our favorite characters from the chapter while discussing a little bit about the chapter as a whole, what we think was to be expected, and a little bit of our drawing processes while we're at it.
Yeah, now I don't know about my favorite character.
Yeah, okay. Maybe favorite.
Yeah, more specifically, we decided to do a little thing where we draw the primary bosses of each chapter.
Yes, I should have led with that.
Hey, that's all right. Because I think what would be neat is by the time we're done, and I mean by the time the game is finished, we're going to have more, is we can kind of draw the main bosses, the secret bosses, and then we can kind of all put them together in one big piece at the end.
Exactly. So we have a nice little collab of everything that we have done up to that point and to show to everybody here for y'all to enjoy.
Yeah, because man, I haven't done a collab in years. It's been a long time.
I've had a fair bit of experience with some collabs in the past, so it's nice to be doing a collab again, as well as doing a nice new I would say new subject for me, because this is definitely a bit out of my comfort zone, to say the least.
Yeah, because I'm not really sure I would call myself professional. I mean, I did art full time, like as my main income source for a little while between just kind of like main jobs. I would consider myself pretty up there. I just don't really know if I feel comfortable calling myself professional.
I mean, you have 20 plus years of experience. I think you kind of hit that threshold of professional.
I'm old.
I'm kind of old too, though. As far as my art skills, I would say like maybe 2-3 years taking it sort of seriously.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
And you're learning, because I don't know if you'd feel comfortable with me calling you my student necessarily, because I feel like I'm not teaching you enough.
This is my sensei right here. Even though they may not admit it, this is my sensei. Like, if it weren't for them, I probably would not be at the level of drawing that you guys are going to see being displayed in this video. So I'm definitely patting them on the back, because they are definitely due their flowers, even if they don't think so.
I just didn't know if you felt like comfortable with me calling you a student.
Exactly. See, here's the thing: you're gonna have a whole title above your avatar, right up there, that's gonna say Sensei on it. So
okay, I'll commit to it. And I guess what's our only other disclaimer? Oh yeah, I am the same person, by the way. If you if you came here from our first video in chapter 1, hey, cool news. I got to be transgender a little bit in the meantime, so my voice has dropped a little bit. We recorded that video 8 months ago, I think. It was really shortly after chapter 3 and 4 came out. Life just kind of got in the way for us, like, doing editing and focusing on the channel. But we figure, better late than never.
Exactly. And you're high off of testosterone right now, so even better.
High? I don't know about that. I did remember to take it today.
That's good at least. Can't forget what is it, weekly? I don't know. We'll say that for a different time.
I do the gel. I do it daily now.
Daily, I get
It's so much nicer than the IM.
I would not want to be poking myself with a needle.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, so gel would definitely be the better of the two.
It's very nice. Well, without further ado, I think let's have you start off. So for this chapter, I did the final boss, the King of Spades, and Ryan did Jevil.
Jevil, yes. And if you saw chapter 1, I had a nice little fun time with Jevil. And maybe a little bit after this video pops up, you'll get to see the full experience of me interacting with Jevil and how fun and exciting it was. But
you can tell how excited he is by the way he's talking.
Let's go ahead and get started. So here's where we kind of start my process of Jevil. So disclaimer, I'm gonna be real. In my 2-3 years of taking art seriously, I've mainly been practicing humanoids. So I know Jevil has a not so, I want to say more so humanoid shape, but this is the best my skills can do at the moment. So I decided to just go ahead and like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my take on how I see Jeffel as and how I would design him, to say the least.
I mean, I think it's a really good take because I've seen this piece a couple times. He hasn't seen mine, but like I'm really sorry, just trying to find the way to say it. It's just like I really like how this piece ended up turning out, like colors and everything, and like I think you should be really proud of it. Even if he's like, yeah, sure, he's not accurate to the game or anything, but you know, that's fine. There's room for interpretation.
Exactly. And that's kind of like the beauty with art, that you're able to interpret characters and put your own little spin on it. And it does just showcase your love and admiration for the character. I'm just happy I was able to get that cowl done.
Love and admiration.
Yeah, love and admiration. There's definitely not hate and animosity towards the character at all. Definitely not. But yeah, like I really did enjoy the process, and I will say that this cowl that I'm currently working on was a pain in the butt. I would say it was probably the hardest part of this entire drawing, because I never drew a cowl before, and it was definitely a shape that I was not used to drawing and had to figure out, as you can see right there.
I mean, I think it turned out really, really good.
Thank
like the cowl
you.
especially.
Yes, yes. So I was really happy for it to finally like start coming together, and like I was able to understand the pose. I was understand the energy I wanted to cast or to grab with the whole pose as a whole, and I was and just overall just continue on with the overall design. So I guess moving into this part of the section, I kind of was just I just started to like, hey, I could keep it at just Jeppel, but you know what? I just take this a step further. I want to draw the whole gang, and how would I interpret their little interaction with this happy little jester, to say the least.
I think it was a really good choice. Honestly, I really do. I think it does add a lot to the end of like the final piece to have the fun squad.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a really good hand.
Yeah, that hand was if I'm not gonna get nothing else right with this pose, let me at least get this hand done right, to say the least.
No, I really do especially love how Susie turned out in this one.
I appreciate it. And
so sorry to cut you off.
Are you good?
Just like I was just gonna say, like, as we're just kind of like going through doing like the line art for the fun game, so like, and maybe even like addressing the beginning of chapter 1, right? Because why don't we talk a little bit about the fact that this is really your first real-time interacting with anything Undertale / Deltarune.
Yes, like I'm gonna be honest, like I thought I knew what I was getting into. I'm gonna be honest, I really did not, because I'm like,
because just so everyone has a little context to this, over like the years we've known each other, we've talked about Undertale kind of vaguely a couple times, and he would always tell me like, "Oh yeah, no, I played Undertale," and like talked about how much you like the characters and stuff, and then we get to Deltarune, and you're
yeah. So,
not saying you lied to me, but I mean, like,
let's just say, well, I'm not gonna say let's just say, I only ever played the genocide route. And I kind of memed it. So I didn't really pay attention to the overarching story of Deltarune. I mean, not Deltarune, of Undertale. I just kind of been like, oh, I just go on a murder spree? I'm going to do this for the memes.
Yeah.
And I remember, if anything, I mainly remember the Undyne fight, because she is my favorite character in all of Undertale. I just loved her theme. I love the fight. I love her character, personality, design, just everything about her. And I memed all the way to Sans, and I RQ'd, because I'm like, hey, there's no way I'm beating this boss. I'm going to draw my controller against the wall. And yeah, that was my whole Undertale experience.
I will say, I got pretty good at Sans by the end, but oh man, he took me hours.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. I get to say I played Undertale, and I'm going to move on with my life. So it definitely is a nice... I'm gonna be honest, it definitely is nice to actually get started in playing Deltarune for the first time, and just getting introduced to the characters as a whole, like especially getting introduced in the like Chris and Susie firsthand, because from first impression, I wouldn't think that they're probably going to be partners in crime throughout the entire course of the of the series, and because I'm thinking, oh, they just don't like each other.
Oh yeah, like that was the thing I was going to talk about earlier. Just for like viewers' understanding. So at this point, we have finished chapter 4 together. I could not wait. I have played chapter 5, not the weird route. I have not seen what chapter 5's weird route, but we're kind of talking from people who we're pretty caught up at this point.
Exactly. So we kind of know a lot of, pretty much, at least for me, I know everything on the normal route up to like chapter 5, because I haven't played chapter 5 yet, and I'm hoping to get to that point without being spoiled too much. But even then, it's just like, man, what a roller coaster. But that's something we'll save for a future video. But just overall, just like the whole character dynamic between Chris and Susie, even in the first chapter, as well as with the introduction to Ralsei, which shout out all my homies like Ralsei.
Yeah. Our fluffy boy.
Our fluffy boy. Give it out to the goat right here. With,
literally.
Yeah, quite literally the goat. As you can see.
I do love that you gave him the little paw pads. The heart-shaped paw pads are very cute.
Yeah, I kind of thought, like, I didn't really pay attention to like any official art of Ralsei, but I kind of assumed that his paw pads were heart shaped.
I mean, they gotta be.
Yeah,
it's on brand.
Exactly, it's on brand. Just as much as on brand as I forgot that I did not duplicate these layers, so I am coloring and I'm coloring everything on the line art layer, which is great.
Forgot. You did tell me about that. I mean, look, the thing about art is that you just can be like, whatever. Yeah. I've kind of gotten to the point where like I draw right over my line art. Like I'll like finish a painting and then make a new layer and paint completely on top of it. Like it's whatever. Your process is whatever you feel like.
Yeah, like it did kind of made me annoyed in the beginning because I normally make the separate line art layer so I can make coloring and shading a lot easier, but it is what it is. But yeah, just like the whole party dynamic as a whole, I really like how they kind of really do play off of each other, even though, at least from our perspective, Chris seems mute when they're not. They are talking.
Yeah, you just can't hear them.
Yeah.
That was the most fun part about the chapter, is like every time you would say something about how they are, or like how they're, and I just had to sit and be like, oh, just you wait.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is a nice little menace to society, man.
Well, you that's true. They are.
Yep. Well, boy, I was into a couple of things, and yeah, because even as they were like even traversing this first dark world, like I really like how it set the tone of like how the story is gonna be and what's to come in the future. So its world building is like top of the line, if I were to say so.
Oh yeah, because so much, and it's fun, kind of coming back to chapter 1 after like not having played it for so long myself. It's so cool to kind of see like all the little bits and pieces they set up, right? Because it's even just small things like, you know, when you're breaking out of the prison in Card Castle and you're having Chris tell Susie the answers to a puzzle they cannot see.
Yeah.
And no one questions it.
It's like how are you able to see the puzzle and know what the answer is to it? The only thing that I can think of is like, well, Chris doesn't see nothing.
Yeah.
We see it.
And even just the little things, like, because when Susie fighting Lancer, you're seeing the soul come from where Chris is in the space and like going back to where they are.
Exactly. So
and just like knowing it's diegetic, especially seeing how it gets used in like chapter 4 too.
Oh, 100%. Because it really, like, oh man, you really get to understand the fact that, hey, Chris, they're their own person, while you are also your own soul. So that leaves more discussions that we're going to wait till like later on when we do more speed draws in the future for later chapters. But
yeah,
so many things to say the least.
You know, you don't, that's kind of the whole thing, right? Because you don't, Deltarune kind of plays up like, you know, if you played Undertale before, you think you're in for the same thing. So they kind of, they hold like their biggest twist until like the very end of chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give you like any real indication of like what's about to happen or what the true nature of the game is.
Exactly. So it's kind of in the same way they're kind of just using that same element and Deltarune. But also, like, I would even say it's like I said, Undertale is just like their test run of just concepts, ideas, execution, and Deltarune was like, all right, now we're gonna put what we really learned into practice and hit you with the full throttle.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait because what we're gonna do after we're finished with chapter 5 and we maybe do the other route a little bit. I am gonna drag this man through Undertale again, proper.
Yeah,
We're gonna do Undertale proper.
I'll get the proper playthrough of Undertale. And it's be as proper as me trying to figure out how to draw that clover, as you guys just saw.
It turned out fine.
I was in the trenches trying to get that clover right.
I do think it was a really good choice to do the cards in the background. I really like. I also that's just such a good choice of blue. I really like how you handled the colors with it.
Thank you. Like, cause I was originally gonna do the other background you guys saw earlier, with it, but like something in me just felt like I was at work and I was thinking, this isn't it. This is like too lazy in a sense, and it's like I can definitely do a lot more with it, and I can definitely make more out of it. And that's where I just got the idea of like, how can I make the placement a lot more uniform and more sound to all together, and just make the entire piece just flow a lot more. And that's where I got the idea, you know what, let me just make a whole row of cards as the background. And I think that will really emphasize the theme that at least the theme that I was able to interpret with Jevil as a whole.
Oh yeah, definitely. I also think just the effects around the swirling of the card is really sick. It reminds me of the back of a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, because like oddly enough, because I originally was just gonna keep just the regular aura around it, but same thing as like I was looking at it and I was just like, it didn't flow with the rest of the picture.
Yeah.
And it's like I was experimenting, and you probably saw in the speed paint itself where I was kind of experimenting with different colors. Heck, I was even experimenting with the red that I used for Chris's heart as the aura just to see how it would play out. But like they either blended too much with the background, or they just stuck out too much that they would take away from the overall piece. So I figured, what tools am I not using? What other stuff can I experiment with to make this flow together? And I remembered that tool existed, and as you can see, I was able to give it that effect and just really make the whole piece just come more together with it.
Yeah. No, I think it turned out so good.
Oh yeah.
Like, fantastic job with this, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's definitely a night and day from when I first started taking art seriously back in 2024.
Okay. That's the thing. You get better.
You
just keep getting better the more you do it.
The more you do it, the more you try, you get a little bit a little bit better. Shout out to people who know what chapter that's from. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump to Sev's piece, the piece that I did not get any look at. So I guess we're going to see firsthand just
secret
what this has to offer. So yes, I kind of see where you got in all the concept arts in there. And
yeah, my process tends to be a little messy. I did a lot of shape exploration on paper in my sketchbook. Those were just kind of the thumbnails I ended up with. Because I've never drawn the King of Spades before. I've never even thought to. And I mean, not that I like dislike him. I don't know. He didn't grab me very much.
I mean, that kind of would be the case, because you kind of like, and that's just with fan art in general, you kind of gravitate to the characters that pique your interest the most.
Oh yeah, and like I love the Fun Gang and stuff. I love Spampton, I love Tenna, but you can just kind of. I do a lot of thumbnailing, I do a lot of prep work and stuff. A lot of that was, I kind of cut apart some pieces of my sketches. I do a lot of the contrast in like black and whites first to kind of see how I want things laid out. Those annoying flashing lines on screen are just kind of how I separate the canvas to kind of keep the composition in mind.
Exactly. So you kind of know like what's what, and they're not kind of like mixing in too much with each other as a whole.
Yeah, and I do always down in the bottom left corner. I've kind of learned when I started working to just start having like a separate window up to keep grayscale. I'm working in grayscale proper right now.
Yes.
But I like to keep an eye on my values once I start working with color as well. So I like to keep that down in the corner.
Oh yeah,
during
so
my process.
it really does make like a good, like you said, it just makes the good like reference to keep in mind to make sure it's like saying, hey, your colors are actually working in contrast with each other, and they're not like kind of blending too much with each other.
Yeah, you want to make sure things can read A from a distance, B even if you're looking at it in black and white.
Exactly, which is definitely something I want to start introducing when in my drawing process. Because for me, like I said, I kind of just I make the rough sketch, I do the line art, I do the flats, and then I just kind of render rather than just looking at the values. Which doing it this way would probably help with my color selection a lot more.
Yeah. And mind you, I've been doing this for a really long time, and I try to be as fast as I can just so I can do as much as fast as possible. And it's never a bad idea to plan things out ahead of time, especially if you're doing a bigger piece.
Mm-hmm.
You can get really lost in the weeds. And that's not to say I don't still get lost in the weeds when I'm kind of doing paintings. I did for a little bit here. Not necessarily in this part, but, you know, I just kind of... You lose track of the bigger picture sometime, which is why it's nice to kind of do the, you know, like the setup.
Exactly, because like at least for me, I get lost in the weeds the entire process because, truth be told, as I'm halfway through the piece, I'm still trying to figure out what the freak I'm going to do with it. So I kind of just
and it's good to have as you can see, I was struggling struggling a bit. I knew I wanted to have the tongue out. I just couldn't figure out where it needed to be because I didn't want to layer it over the cape because that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see a little bit of me struggling. That's just part of the process. You know how it is. Art's pain. Art's a struggle.
Arts. You know what's funny? I saw this video the other day where this guy was explaining how art is war.
Oh yeah, no, I could see that definitely.
Like you're kind of just at war with like. You're like at war with yourself, at war with like other people or things like that. Sure, they definitely break it down in like in the like animating industry where you're kind of really are at war because it's like, in a sense, when you're, I would say in a sense when you're like animating for a company, you're kind of just like I would say in a sense so stroking your own ego in a sense.
Oh, kind of. Oh, you're gonna see these spades show up and disappear and show up and disappear again. It took me a minute to figure them out.
Oh, I see. You're trying to get like the perspective, like
it works out. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, I feel like in a way. No, because I mean, tell me. No, honestly, tell me. I mean, is it? Does it count? I don't know what to call it.
I don't know.
That's what I labeled it in the layers. Anyway.
Like,
yeah, art's kind of just... I feel like some paintings from you just work fine, and a lot of the time, more often than not, art just kind of feels like a battle for me. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if that's just because I'm not very good. But I find myself... You know, it's a push and pull. It's a fight. You're kind of fighting to get things in the right spot. And
exactly.
That fight gets easier the more you practice.
Yeah, I like to see it as like you're problem solving.
Exactly. No, that is kind of just what art is. It is you are solving problems, and your problem is all right. How do I want this piece to feel? How do I want this composition to work? What do I want this illustration to tell people?
Exactly.
What do I want people to gain from it? You know.
Mm-hmm,
what kind of mood do I want to set?
Yeah, because I can tell you right now, this you kind of get that overarching feel of like, hey, this is the king, this is the ruler, so. As a ruler or as an evil king, you kind of want to be intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. He's intense. He's sinister.
Exactly.
Maybe not as sinister as he seems, but, you know, that just kind of brings us into talking about, like, Toby's writing and stuff, right? Because the one thing I really appreciate, and, you know, I played Undertale when it came out.
Yeah.
I didn't get to Deltarune, I think, until Chapter 2 dropped, but I've been a long-time fan of Toby's work. And just kind of seeing how he writes, and, you know, just kind of characters like King. Yeah, he's evil. Yeah, he's maybe, like, not even that good of a parent. If you consider the fact that he very much threatened to throw his child off of a roof. But
I don't think good parents would do that.
Yeah. But I really like how Toby always writes his characters to kind of be the three-dimensional in the sense that no one is evil for no reason.
Yeah.
No one is bad for no reason. Because the King is just doing... he's just kind of working out of just negative feelings about Lightners. Because I mean, a deck of playing cards left in an abandoned classroom. What else would he think?
Yeah, yeah, and that also brings up another topic that becomes more apparent in later chapters. Like, hey, these darkeners are nothing more but the manifestations of just real life objects that people use on their day to day.
Yeah, and it's so cool because one of my favorite things about Deltarune as a whole, because I thing like you ask me to talk about a thing I like, and then I can't think of anything to say about it, right? I would be like, oh, Deltarune, I could talk for hours about Deltarune, but now I'm like on the spot, right? But one thing I really like about the way the world and premise is set up is that it seems like the whole thing is almost based off of that dark mirror thing
Yeah,
where they did an experiment where they put somebody in a dark room with a mirror and had them stare at it for hours, and eventually, because your mind starts getting bored, it starts imagining things.
hmm
And that's why people think they see things move in the dark. They'll look at like a jacket on the back of the chair and be like, oh, that's a person standing there or a monster. Just the idea of the fact that your brain invents stuff when it's deprived of stimulation. And I think it's such a cool concept that it's been made into like a premise of a game that I'm mad I didn't think of it first,
Yeah, because it really is like it's a very unique take because it's like it's something that people know, but you wouldn't actually see it being executed on the level that pretty much Toby Fox is executing it here. Because another thing, it's like it's a reminiscent to the saying, it's like, hey, if you stare dark enough into the abyss stares back. Which again is like,
I mean, yeah, that feels a lot like about what Deltarune's trying to say and do. And just like having it set up just I feel so disjointed talking about it because my brain goes like a million miles an hour with like hyperfixations and stuff, Because God, I love Deltarune so much, and it's so cool to see even how it got set up back in Undertale. Because I
mhm.
mean, this one's gonna see it once we get around there, but just the idea of like, you know, we didn't get a whole lot of what's going on in the background with like Gaster and stuff because it's Deltarune. We got to talk about Gaster. Of course, we're gonna talk about Gaster.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
just how it was set up so far in advance because maybe Toby didn't know exactly what he wanted to do ahead of time. And I mean, we can see that in all he added in updates to Undertale and stuff to kind of better fit the narrative. But just that it was planned out so well in advance too. Of just he knew the story it was going to be. He knew
exactly.
how it was going to feel.
Yeah, he kind of like he was planting that seed.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, just like the darker yet darker still, the photon reading's negative. Even just like down to the idea of having someone almost like trapped in the code. And I doubt that, in Undertale, the data mining, he didn't, he didn't hide stuff in there with the intention of people finding it. But just like the brilliance of seeing people do it and then getting to hide stuff there.
Exactly.
Like, we get into Deltarune, and here's all these extra little bits. Here's someone talking to you in the dialogue. There's even just like the concept and around the idea that, I fully subscribe to the idea of device theory, where we're just kind of working in layers here, where we're this outer layer looking at a game, the game of which that is showing this world, and this world that is playing again off the world underneath it, like the dark world,
Yeah,
and how it's God, I wish I could articulate things so much better sometimes, because even just seeing it play out in chapter 3, when you go and do the sword route, where they kind of just, they almost like play it straight, where they're just like, yeah, no, here's the linear experience, but here's what happens if you break it.
exactly.
Here's here's the real game, here's the real freedom, where we kind of start playing with kind of the meta narrative of the idea that Deltarune is a video game and it knows it's a video game, and that's kind of the point of the story.
Exactly. Like you say, you're playing with layers, and there's like, and the game is aware of the fact that it has these layers to it, and the in the sense that hold on, brain articulating, brain work for me. But yeah, like you say, you're playing with layers, And the game understands that it's built off of layers, and you have this overarching, I want to say this overarching entity that's watching over the fact that, hey, this is, once you figure out that you're in something that's layered upon itself and you understand it, I bet in order to get the true value, get the true message, I need to start breaking it.
Yeah, and like keep digging, because I feel like that was kind of what we got out of Undertale's genocide route. Like this idea where they even like call out directly of just knowing that there's something else there, knowing there's something deeper, and just because you can do it, you have to. Well, I mean, you have to, right? You have to see every part of this game.
Exactly.
Every part of the story, every single angle you could possibly like interface with. And I just love that feels like it's cranked up to 11 in Deltarune.
Oh, definitely.
Especially with like the presence of the weird route, which I mean, mind you, we don't know where it's like leading up to, but it's so fascinating to me that it kind of feels almost like a sequence break, but like an intentional one. The game wants you to sequence break. That's
Yeah.
the point. And I just think it's so cool that he's used those concepts and like made it as a part of like the actual narrative of the game, because it is so fascinating to me that this feels like a piece of media that directly interfaces with its genre. Or not even like its genre, right? Because I don't even mean like genre. I mean just kind of like its medium. Like a game that is aware that it is a game.
Exactly.
It's
like it's self-aware.
Yeah, and that's like the coolest part about it.
And because of its self-aware, of course, it's going to go ahead and be like, all right, now that I'm self-aware, how do I break the cycle? How do I break the program? How do I break it in of itself to escape or find the secret that lies within the layers that are underneath it? It's like the best other thing I could probably get Matrix. So for those of you who've seen the Matrix, now I'm not gonna say it's like one to one with the Matrix. They're two different things in of itself. But it's like if you've seen the Matrix, you know that the Matrix world revolves around the aspect. It's like, hey, these everybody that's living their best life every single day. Whoop-de-doo, everything's good and sweet. And next thing you know, it's like, you're in a simulation, homie.
And I'm so interested to see if that will come into play. Well, because like, see, Chapter 5 is going to be very fun for us to talk about.
Oh,
once we get there, it's going to be very fun to get to talk about like how this might impact the story as a whole, the idea that it is a game.
Exactly. So I can't wait because I'm definitely like having some theories rumbling in my head per se, which they're either going to be answered in Chapter 5 or I'm going to be left with more questions where I'm like, all right, I don't know what the freak is going on.
Oh, because I'll be real, I still have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But we got some very interesting tidbits, so hey, next time we get together, we're definitely going to be taking a look at Chapter 5.
Oh,
it's going to take us a while to get through. But I guess as far as finishing things on this piece is concerned, because I haven't talked about it very much this entire time.
I will say
I like how it turned out. I feel like generally maybe feels like a little uninspired to me. But, at the same time, I just, I never really thought the draw the King of Spades before, so it's really been a long time since I've sat down and like done a painting proper. So it was good to kind of get back in and just kind of like redo my process and stuff. Figure it out again.
Yeah, and I especially love the use of purple in this, especially on the highlights of the cape, on the whatever the freak is coming out of that belly mouth, a tail or whatnot.
We'll call it a tail.
Yeah, I just like the use of purple. It really brings out the blue, the different shades of blues, the blacks, the white. There's definitely a nice contrast, and I even like the green square in the background because it's reminiscent to the every time you're in battle, you're trapped inside this square, avoiding attacks.
Yeah, I just really wasn't liking how the contrast was working in the background and thought we needed a little something different. I might actually bump it up a little bit in the final, because I just don't really like how that line's intersecting with his crown. So I might go back and fix that in post.
Yeah, and another thing, and it's funny, because I was thinking a similar thing, because I was going to make the outline for the cars in the background of my piece green, and I was testing it, but then something was like, I guess there's too much contrast, so I just kind of left it as it is.
Yeah, sometimes it's good not to go like too hard into it.
Exactly, but overall, I really did like how the piece turns out. Truth be told.
Yeah, I really like how yours turned out, and I'm pretty happy with mine, honestly. I maybe could have spent a little bit more time on the hand, but I also didn't want to get too lost in the weeds. I could sit down and render for like 13 hours, you know? But
Exactly.
effectively, I think this one was about 6.5 for me.
6.5. Mine's took a whole 15 hours.
You and all your line art.
I just I love smooth lines. I don't know what to say. Like I see smooth lines, I feel like my piece looked like it came straight out of an anime or a cartoon.
But I mean, that's the fun thing, right? And the difference in styles. I don't like line art, so I just don't do it.
Hey, if you ever get a piece of do line art, hey, just call on me. I'll be more than happy to take on that task.
Hey, there we go.
So
I think we got some pretty good work to put together.
Yeah.
So
and
for our next two, once we get into chapter 2, we're gonna be swapping. So I'm gonna do the secret boss, and he's gonna do the final boss.
exactly. So I'm really excited. I know exactly what type of pose I got for it. The only question is, can I be able to execute it? But I guess we'll find out when that video drops.
I think you'll manage fine.
So
Get fine.
with that being the case, I've been Ryan.
Not anymore, though. I've been Sev, but maybe I'll be someone else.
Someone else. Tune in next time on. Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.